Welcome back to the channel. What's up, you Nio investor? Let's get back and let's talk about Nio because we are at $8. Remember what I told you before just a week that we can hit $8 before we hit to $12. So this is my channel. You can go click on the channel and take a look at the videos. And we talked about Nio, $8 before $12, and precisely that's where we are, $8.06. We were down on Friday 2.50 4% or 21 cents, but we precisely hit the mark, $8.03. So let's talk about where we can go from here, because there is a good possibility that $9.04 work as a pretty strong resistance for Nio. So I want to share this information with you, hoping you can make informed financial decision. I'll be talking about why $9.04, not $9.07. $9.04 will review this particular chart, and I want to show you where the moving average is, how the real-time price point looks like, what the RSI tells us, and exactly where we are heading in terms of Nio. Because if you take a look at last one day, yes, we are down 2.54%, but we started seeing the downtrend. While Nasdaq was up 1% in last couple of days, and at that price point we saw Nio went down. For last 5 days, Nio was down 14%. For last 1 month, Nio was pretty much flat or up 4%. But take a look at year to date, which is 2024. Not a great start of the year. We went from almost $9 to $8, as precisely I told you. But there is a strong possibility that in 2024, in very near future, Nio will start hitting higher levels because of some of the catalysts coming up. Without further ado, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I need more and more likes and subscribe to motivate me. And we have been talking about Nio a lot. By the way, we are in the tax season. So if you haven't looked into how you can file the taxes yourself, take a look at some of the videos that I posted. It has been pretty good. It's free tax filing for you. Depends upon your situation. Learn how to fill out form 1040, so on and so forth. Now let's get back to Nio. If you haven't clicked the like button, do hit the like button. I need 50 likes on this video. So your participation is very much appreciated. It does not really cost you anything. If you want to support the channel, click on the thanks button and help out with a couple of dollars. I'll greatly appreciate that as well. But regardless, let's get back into what the 1 year looks like. We're down 22%. So all in all, we saw a downturn. But why this is a good thing? Remember, when a stock is in red, that's when it creates opportunity to buy. But you have to find out how low it can go, and you get back up before the stock gets back up all the way. You pick that stock up, let it ride, and run the ride, and make sure that you find out another tipping point. It's hard to time the market, but it's hard. It's pretty doable if you take a look into how the technical pointer looks like and find out a ballpark number, and which is where I'm coming from. Now, you want to also watch out for Nio. If it goes to $7.95, we need to talk again. But for now, this is looking pretty good. Let's talk about what Goldman Sachs told us. So Goldman Sachs initiated the coverage on Nio with neutral rating, despite its early mover advantage. What Goldman Sachs is telling us is Nio's growth momentum could remain soft on relatively fewer new model that they have launched. And remember, they have strong competition with Tesla, but regardless of Tesla or not Tesla, they have a Chinese market. So they had first movers advantage, at least in the Chinese market. And take a look how the share price performed. Last year, we saw a high close to $16, and from $16, we are now cut in half. We are at $8, and that's where it creates opportunity. It's not going to go to $12 overnight. So don't get me wrong. Don't buy the stock thinking it'll hit $12, $13 just within a week worth of time. If it does, great, but I do not foresee that it's going to happen just within 3 or 4 weeks. Now, let's talk about what Goldman Sachs told us, right? They started covering Nio with a strong or with a neutral rating and with some strong sentiment, saying that Chinese electric vehicle company EV makers growth momentum is likely to remain soft, not a great or bullish statement from Goldman Sachs. But again, that's where the opportunity that a company can work on it, and $8 can go to $12. Now remember, if 8 goes to 12, it's a 50% gain, and that has happened in the past. Take a look. This is the V-shaped recovery, or U-ish or V-ish shape recovery. We went from $12 to all the way, again, going back all the way down to $8, and from $8 we got back up to $16, which was again 2x price point. Can Nio do that in 2024? Absolutely yes. So take a look. Again, we are at $16 and we got back down to $8, so cut in half, or rather $7 precisely. Right here, the 52-week range, $7.16. This is a great opportunity because, again, Nio's market cap is $13 billion. Can it go to $26 billion? Yes, pretty easily. And that is doable if Nio can start selling more and more vehicles. And that's what they have started doing that, right? 46% up year-over-year revenue, $19 billion for the quarter ending September. And we are going to see Q4 numbers very, very soon in next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Remember to follow this stock. Pretty great stock. Goldman Sachs 12-month price point that they're saying $8.40 rather. Now, if you think about $8.40, it's still up 40 cents in general from the current price point, and it can go way beyond $8.40. If you're a swing trader, this could be your stock, because you're not trying to get penny stock and just trying to hit the 2x 3x, because we don't know where the market is heading, especially when we are seeing a long positions and a lot higher indexes at the moment. Now, Nio has been starting this particular share. We saw that 41,900 EV vehicle in terms of RMB, 300,000, which is more on NEV segment. This is what was noted by an analyst. Despite Nio's early movers advantage, growth momentum could remain soft on relatively fewer new models. That's what the analysts are talking about. Now, the team expects that the Nio's revenue will grow at the compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, 31% from 2023 to 2025. Now think about it. If it is in the right direction, if it is the momentum is in the positive direction, it is going to get the price point higher, and it is driven by primarily 40% more volume growth. Now, if that happens, right, 31% CAGR from 2023 to 2025, that also impacts the stock price. Remember, it is backed by the Saudi company. They have closed at $2.2 billion, if you remember, before a couple of weeks, right? Goldman Sachs also forecasted that Nio from 2024 to 2025 is 11 to 14% below the consensus expectations, and consensus implied monthly sales volume from Albrand at 7,800 model in 2025, which is too high, versus 1800 for its existing model according to the note. But once again, this is supposed to change with the changing outlook. Nio has more comprehensive portfolio compared to its peers, right? Now, with that, also this EV maker to have a relatively softer stock of a new model pipeline over next 2 years. They have pipeline, right? ET9. I talked about that $112,000, which was the price point. Regardless, let's take a look at the deliveries. The deliveries are hitting all-time high. We went to 20,000 plus just before a few months. We got back down. We started going back in the positive direction. Now, what happened? Nio delivered 50,045 vehicles in the fourth quarter in Q4, which is exceeding the upper end of its previous guidance, right? So we saw that this ballpark, like we were higher than where we were in before in the history of Nio as a company, month-over-month deliveries. So we are in a very high ballpark number, and we are also expecting that 31% CAGR. Remember what Goldman Sachs told us? Now remember one more thing, SUV and sedan. So this orange line is the SUV chart and the blue is the sedan. Both are shooting higher, especially the SUVs are skyrocketing. The sales are more than 14,000 before a few months, and we got back down. That was a trend, by the way, for both sedan and SUVs, and that's why their deliveries went down in 2023, Q3-ish, but in Q4, we started picking up. And we did better than before. ES8, ES7, ES6, EC7, 6, 7, and also this ET5 Touring. So these are all the vehicles, and we also know that the ET9, I already talked about that. ET9 has sales price of $112,000, and this deliveries will begin in the first quarter of 2024. what it's going to do. 112,000, it's a premium vehicle, folks, and that is going to ramp up the revenue, total, the bottom line, right? The top line numbers, the revenue. Our bottom line is to make sure that the stock price goes up. Now, the top line numbers for this company is to make sure that the revenues grows, and how it can grow with premium vehicle and more vehicles sell. Not just premium, but both premium and mid-level, mid-range vehicles, so on and so forth. Nio delivered more than 50,000 vehicles in the fourth quarter, which is up. They also are on the upper end of their guidance, right? What they told us that the range would be. Let me just go back and let me show you real quick where it says. So the range would be 47,000 and 49,000 units in Q4. That's what they told us. They exceeded their own expectations, went above 50,000. That was up 24.95%. So almost 25% year-over-year growth, but down 9.72% from the third quarter. So this is the third quarter, and we got back down. And that's going to happen, depends upon certain circumstances. But all in all, we are on the upper end. Nio delivered what they told us. That's something that you need to understand. Now let's put it into perspective, right? How Nio grew in terms of their annual deliveries. In 2018, they had 11,300. Went all the way, not 10x, more than 10x, just in a span of 6 years. They are at 160,000 plus vehicles. And this is a legit company trying hard. They're going to burn cash because they are going to do a lot of R&D. They have first mover's advantage, by the way. At one point, I'll get in. Another thing is battery swap. One more thing is they got a good hands on this software as well as hardware as well as customer service, so on and so forth. And they have the biggest market on the planet Earth in China. So with all that, I don't have any doubt. Now let's talk about what Nio Stock is doing. One more thing I wanted to tell you about $9.04, right? So let's go back to this chart. We are at $8.06, which is the moving average. So this blue bar that you see, this cosine or sine wave type of a bar or graph or chart, this is our moving average. And this is the other chart is our real-time price point. Right now, real-time price point is about the moving average, which is bullish sign with 48 RSI, relative strength index. That suggests that Nio is not overbought, not oversold. But one thing you want to remember is Nio already has a good amount of short volume. 46, 40, 46, 47, 51. My point is, short sellers are not stopping, and they are continuously short selling Nio. So keep that in mind. That's one of the bigger factor as to why Nio is down. Now, if you go back to the chart, I wanted to show you that we saw a strong resistance. This is $9.04. We hit that when we were at $8.53, $9.04. We could not really go above and beyond. We got back down to $8.34. Again, we tried $9.04, could not really go there. From $8.97, we strongly went down to $7.27. With that, what that suggests, it is going to be, again, a strong psychological level for Nio to cross. So watch out for $9.04. Now, if you buy, by any means, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not for buy or sell advice, by the way. But if you do buy, and if you want to sell as a swing trade, remember, 904 is something that you want to watch out. I'm not saying sell at 904, but what I'm saying is if it does not really get above and beyond 904, there might be another opportunity that Nio can go back to 8 before it goes back to 12. And I'll keep you posted. I'll do my due diligence. I'll share that information with you. But our volume looks pretty healthy. Our average volume, 51.8 million. This is the average volume. And if you take a look at our volume overall, 58 mil, 81 million, 74 million. And by the way, I told you about before 6 days. So this video was before 6 or 7 days when we talked about $8 Nio before $12. Let's take a look what Nio did before 8 days or 7 days right here. I did this video when Nio was $9.57, if you remember. Go watch, check out the date from 9.57. We precisely hit $8. Now, another price point that you want to look out for is $7.95. I don't believe that it's going to go there. But you never know, short sellers. So keep an eye out on short sells. From $9.57, we went to $8. We will go back to $9.04. I'm pretty sure in next few days. So watch out for that one as well. I want to show you real quick what the options and the contract looks like, right? So these are the contracts expiring on January 12th. We are on January 6th today. These are calls, these are puts. This is open volume, or this is volume, and this is open interest. Now, when you have higher volume and higher open interest for call for higher price, that means the Nio or any stock in general will go higher. So take a look right here. We are at $8 price point. We are seeing pretty decent volume, 9,000 plus. This is our volume, and this is our open interest, 2,382. Now, what did that suggest right here? 5,100, 9,300, so on and so forth. We do see that it softs out. If you take a look right here, after $9, we are not seeing that high of an interest or high of a volume. Our volume drops to from 7,000 to 1,400. And our open interest also drops from 9,500 to 8,300. What that suggests, $9 is where people are worried about. So these people will be in the money. So anyone above, so whatever you see here is in the blue background, they will be in the money if Nio stays above $8. But these are the put option, right? The put contracts. With that, everyone, if Nio goes down, everyone about $8.50 right now, they're in the money, and we are seeing pretty good amount of volume there as well. So watch out for that. Yes, the volume soften out as well as Nio stock price goes up. So it is 50-50 at the moment, folks. So watch out for that one. I'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Click the like button if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. I will see you in the next video.